Hi there. Okay, we are going to be doing a Paint Your Pet class, watercolor class. And I had told you one of the things we need to practice on before class would be eyes. It's not a requirement, but I think it makes all the difference in the world if you can do a little practice before class. The eyes are a very important part of your picture. Eyes are the windows to the soul, as they say, and I think it's true. I think when you look at your dog or you look at a painting, if you're not connecting with the eyes, I think it just loses something. So I want you to practice on eyes. Now I drew some eyes here that are from the actual dog pictures that we'll be doing, and as you can see, there are actually 7 different natural eyes, one from each dog that I had at the time a photo of, and they're all different. Each shape is different. It depends on the breed of the dog, I think, the expression of the dog, the age of the dog, because you can get a drooping eyelid, you can have no eyelashes, eyelids, shadows on the eyes. There's all the tear ducts change. Everything is different on your dog versus your friend's dog versus my dog. Here I drew a larger one because we're going to paint this as well. So you have a tear duct, you have, this is the pupil, the iris. These are little areas I'll leave white for a reflection. This right here is a shadow that is usually set off by the eyelid in here with eyelashes, which we will paint in. And normally the outer part of this pupil is darker, it is black, but you're going to have it darker here so that you create more of a rounded effect as in an eyeball instead of it being concave. We don't want that to happen, so I have to show you how to do that. But in the beginning, I will draw the eyes in for you on your painting. So when you get your sketch to watercolor, it will have the eyes in and they will look more or less like this. For practice right now, first step I want you to do is this. Okay, so I made a video earlier and I did all these different eyeballs starting, and my camera kept messing up and so on and so forth, and it was a waste, it was a bust. So, and I apologize. So I had started out, we have a couple people in this class that have dogs with blue eyes, and they happen to be 2 different blues. So when I make your paint kit for your dog, if you have one with blue eyes, you will have the blue in it, versus a dog without you, that dog won't have the blue in your kit. So I don't think that's what I meant to say. Anyway, so earlier I was showing you how to do all this, and I don't have that. So we're going to do it again. So what I want you to do, we're going to work our way up to these natural eyes. Beginning, remember, I know these look like donuts. This kind of looks like a spearmint with a black center, but you're only practicing the blending and the color. This is very important. And it's also important to learn to be patient and do the black pupil once this has dried so you don't bleed off into that. Some dogs do have that. They have where the black looks like it's actually coming off into the iris, and that's great. But for right now, for the purpose of practice, we are going to do this. You're going to do that. Okay, so the way that I got to this and these practice areas is I use a stencil, but you can use a quarter. So the first thing that you're going to do, if you don't have a stencil like this, which most people probably don't have, this is actually a template for house plan and plumbing. When I was doing my interior design, we had to draw our own floor plans. So I happen to have this. So use a quarter, and you're going to make this circle. Now the pencil that I use is, my phone is acting up again. I'm sorry, hold on 1 second. I think my battery is dying, so I have to go fast. Okay, so my pencil is a technical drawing pen. It's a Staedtler, it's a 2.0, and it's got a very sharp lead, which, well, of course I sharpen. Here's a sharpener. Anyway, we're not here for pencils, and my battery's dying. Okay, so I made my large circle, about the size of a quarter. You can find something small on your own. You can draw it hand done. May not look like a circle, so you may want to find something that is small and round that you can put on the center to make it look like a pupil. I'm just going to pick this one, and I'm going to make that circle. Okay, so there we go. So that's what you have: large circle, small circle. All right, then what we're going to do is we're going to start out, let's do this first. So you can do circles like this, which will get you this practice. Pretty basic, and you need to do those. Okay, so do maybe 4 or 5 of those, and you can use different colors. Use the brown with a gold, the brown with a burnt sienna, a brown with a brown. You can do a blue if you want to try a blue. Look at your dog's eyes and see what color is in those eyes. So what I'm going to do here too is I'm going to add these reflections, these little white spots. You don't have to. If you want to start here, start there. But I just do kind of a little bit of, this is going to be a white for me. You can also have the white where maybe a bit of it is going to come off into the iris. That's fine. Okay, so then we are going to do our wet on wet. So I'm going to come in here on the iris with just water. Remember, your paint will go where the water goes, so you only want to paint this area. And then I'm going to come in with my brown. And I'm using like a burnt umber. This is from my Koi watercolor kit. So I have different watercolors, as you know. But this one is called the Koi watercolor kit. It's a travel kit. It's small. It has a bunch. Oh, it has dog hair because we all love dogs, right? Okay. Oh, it could be a Hamlet too. So I'm taking the brown from there. That has an excellent brown in it. It is a true chocolatey brown, which I love, as you can see. It has a good color tone to it. And I have too much water, but we're just going to spread that around. And I'm going to have that go like so. Trying to stay away from that little white spot. I have a little bit too much, so I'm going to wick some of that off. And then I'm going to come in with a little bit of a gold. Now my German Shepherd, Coco, had brown eyes with gold in the center. Always reminded me of a wolf eyes. She had the most beautiful eyes. Slater's eyes are brown on the outer edge, but on the inside, they're almost orange. They're an intense burnt sienna. I can't call it anything other than burnt orange. I will have to show you a picture because his eyes are very different. But Ripley's eyes are very brown. They're brown in the center, they're brown on the iris, they're just very brown. Lighter shades of brown, but pretty much brown. Not a lot to work with, but that's okay. You can still make it come to life. So as you can see, I'm adding some brown around the edge. I'm staying away from that white. I'm going to come in with a little bit more. And then just so that zigzag up and down motion instead of straight, because on the iris you kind of have that anyway. Now if something happens and you cover up your white by accident, because that will happen from time to time, we can come back in with a white paint or the white pen. So don't stress about that. You can almost fix anything, so do not worry. It's just paint. So here I'm coming in with the gold. And if I get a little gold in that center, that's going to be black, except for this white where I've left it where I want it white. Then obviously I want to try a little bit harder to keep the white clean. I'm going to put a little bit of water and soften up that hard edge, draw some of this paint inward, kind of with a little zigzag going on here. And I'm going to add just a little bit of a darker around the center because Coco had these little flecks, and your dog probably has them too. That does look like a golden donut. Some dogs have little flecks like out here in the iris, so check your dog's eyes. I have the photograph, but the photograph doesn't always show those tiny details, and you really might want to pay attention to that. So while that's drying, even though I tell you, do not do it right next to each other, and I sincerely mean this, I'm going to do it. Hopefully it won't bleed into my brown. I'm going to stay away from the edge as much as I can and color this pupil. Like so. Sorry about that. I did put a little bit of a line here. I am going to shadow that and work that out. And it's a tiniest bit of color, because if you put too much, it's going to be too much. You will see. And then you'll be starting another circle. Now in the reflection, a lot of times in the reflection, you're going to see it's not just white. Sometimes you'll see other little things that are reflecting. What is that dog looking at that you see? It's definitely lighter. Sometimes it's a little bit blue, what you see in that reflection. Not so much blue as that, but and then dogs have eyelids, and the eyelids, if you didn't draw it, oh, you didn't draw it in, but they do shadow the upper half of the iris at times. So sometimes this top part is going to be a little bit darker, because in here, if you see, you have this, and that's what that is. That's from the eyelid. So I kind of want you to practice blending in these little colors. And it is a layering process. You cannot get it all at one time. When we're in class, it was a 4-hour class, you're going to work on the eye, and then you might work on the fur, tongue, or ears, something to that effect, and come back again on this eye and work on it some more. And you're going to keep adding these little layers and these little layers. German Shepherds always have eyeliner, and they have these really dark, well, my Coco did, she had these dark eyelids. Now I'm just winging the tear duct here, but she always had kind of a darker eyelid here. And you know, they always have that eyeliner that comes off the side of their face and their eyes here. Let's get a little bit more going. Now, I don't expect yours to be like this. You can see how I did it. I'm mostly interested in you doing the circles for right now. Right here, the circles and this part, and getting your shading down. Now, if you're comfortable, and again, you're at home and you want to do more. Do 10 eyes. And keep going. You mess up, do it again. Just keep going and going and going. Just bring this up. When you do the dark circle around the dog's eyes, it sets it back. It sets it in. It insets it into the face. And you're going to have that in the drawing when I do this for you. So So again, and here's that reflection because this dog sees something out there and I don't know what it is, but there's something there. My phone is going to die and I apologize. I'm going to have to get off here soon. And the brown is wet and it's starting to bleed into the eye and I didn't want that. So I'm going to have to wait to continue more. Let's see if we can go up here. Now dogs don't have wide open eyes like that. They don't walk around like cats do with these giant pupils. Dogs often have their eyes more of a shaded. There's more here for a dog. They have eyelids. So I'm going to kind of just shade that down into mine just a little bit. Cats will do that. Cats will do the full-on eye open, staring at you, but dogs not so much. Dogs do have eyelashes. Now this is just, as you can see, how long have I been on here? 16 minutes. Okay. That's how long it took me to do this eye, and I've done a lot of eyes. So you need to practice the eyes. And this is without me waiting for it to dry to layer, and I really should be waiting. So I'm going to go now, and I want you to go practice. And you can see I'm losing my shape here, but that's okay. I'm going to take it a little from the center. And I am working it in here. Okay. I need to even it out. It's starting to. I have to turn this around. Sorry, guys. I'm starting to get too much black into the eyeball. So I'm going to wash a little bit of it back out. Get more of that feel that I wanted over here. Don't be afraid to turn your paper. Whatever you need to do that makes it work for you. Okay, it's getting too wet for me, so I'm going to stop, call it a day. And that's pretty much where we're going. And I will catch you. We're going to do the next one. We're going to do this big giant eyeball next. Okay, so you guys have great practice and show me what you do. Okay, bye.